everybody. Welcome back to Interviews of Alchemy. First and foremost, I want to say welcome to Season 3. Happy 2K24. We have made it. I'm so grateful that y'all still tuned in, and I'm so grateful to be alive and here. And there's no better way to introduce Season 3 than acclaimed author, King Benjamin. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you for doing this.
Oh, no problem.
Absolutely.
No problem. So, for those who don't know him yet, he has written over 40 books. Over 40.
That's right.
So, I want to get into these questions because that's a lot.
Absolutely.
That's a hell of an accomplishment, and that takes a lot of perseverance, a lot of focus, a lot of discipline. Out of all the outlets you could have chose, what made you try your hand in writing?
Yeah. So first, let me say the 40 books. It sounds like a heap, but for writers in the 2023-2024 era, it's not. It's the norm now because self-publishing has kind of reinvented itself.
Yeah.
So it's not like a situation where you write a book once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's kind of like, oh, well, I can write as many books as I want to because it's my my outlet and I have control over everything. Just kind of like the music, how music is coming out way more faster than it did, years ago. So that was that as far as the 40 books go. Now, the reason I chose books is because, to be 100% honest, my past had led me down a dark road and I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. So in that space, I turned to God and I started looking for answers with prayer. And so praying and like, okay, this is not working out and I know it's only going to get worse. Where do I go from here? And he led me down that path with books because I was a reader. And I looked and I saw a book that I was reading. I saw that one of the authors had been through a lot of stuff similar to what I had been through. Okay. And his name is Shannon Holmes. I always give him shouts out. And so when I saw that, it made me think like, you know what? Maybe this is it. But it didn't come like maybe. It came like boom. You know what I'm saying? Because I had been praying. So I knew that was it in my gut.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That discernment.
I got an answer. Yeah.
That discernment, when you in tune, it hits you.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, from your first drafts, you get into writing. When did you decide, like, I want to publish this? I want to get this out.
So when I wrote them, I was in prison.
Okay.
So I had already made up my mind before I went to prison that this was what I was going to do. And so I wrote 4 books. And the first one I was passing it around to other inmates. Like, let me know, if it's whack, just tell me, I can take it. And the response that I got, it was crazy. It was really crazy. It was like, oh, you own something. You gotta do this. Like, this is the one.
That's
so I was like, okay. It was, again, just the alignment, with what I was supposed to be doing.
Yes. Yeah. That's dope. And that is a lesson on, if you get something like a feeling, just follow it. See where it leads you. Because, like, 100%. We don't get these thoughts and downloads, as I call them, for nothing. Like, you are supposed to follow it. Your dreams are for you. Other people may not understand it.
Right.
But just try it out and see. Don't defeat yourself before you even get started.
Yeah. 100%.
That's real. So, how did you go about publishing back then? Because now it's so different now.
Yeah. So when I, first of all, it took me 5 years to actually put the book out.
Okay.
Because after I came home, I had a lot of other things to catch up with.
Yeah.
Real life. I had a daughter and all this stuff. So it took me a long time to actually get serious about, wait a minute, this is what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And I heard this story from so many other authors, like you got books just sitting in the closet for years. And I was one of those people, you know. And I was like, what? Why would you, you know? But life just got in the way. And so, but when I really, really got serious about it, I'm like, you know, let me just go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
So during those 5 years, the game changed a lot. And that's when ebooks came in and became the big thing.
Okay.
So everybody was like, okay, well, you got to do an ebook and a paperback.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, okay, well, how do I go about doing that? And that's how I got really in tune with Amazon self-publishing and stuff, because at first I was just like, well, I'm going to order 1,000 books and I'm going to just travel and do it, because that's how they used to do it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it had changed so much I had to adapt, but it was a good and a bad thing, mostly good, because now I could sit at home and, you know, kind of do a lot of stuff that I could reach people on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, instead of traveling all over the country just to meet the people I could meet in my living room.
Yes. Because, I mean, traveling is cool and it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get experiences, but it's costly. Both time and monetarily.
Yeah.
So, to be able to reach the demographic, you know, you can travel if you choose, but, you know, being at home, that's perfect. And now, the way all these social media platforms are set up, and Amazon, they're all powerhouses, so they can hit your target demographic easily. Like, and granted, I have my concerns with that and privacy, but you know.
and it's like that with pretty much everything. It's like you got to take the good with the bad.
Yep.
And the betterment of advancing.
Yes. I tell people, when you exchange convenience for power.
Yeah.
And there is an exchange. People don't realize it.
And a lot of privacy.
Yes.
You know,
And I do it myself, like, Google, oh my goodness. Like, I'm surprised my phone ain't just cut on right now, because I'll be like, hey, yo, give me a restaurant you recommend, or yada, yada, and it tells me all that stuff. But it's because it's accumulated so much data over decades now. It's like, well. Yeah,
now the craziest thing, though, is when you like talking to somebody about something and then you get an ad.
Yes. I'm like, no, y'all doing too much.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My friends be thinking I'm crazy, because I'm like, turn your phones off. The feds listen. Let's have a real conversation. They're like, okay.
We ain't even doing that.
Like I'm El Chapo or something. That's ridiculous. Like, All right, now the creative process, because this is something I see a lot of people struggle with, honestly. And I just, humble brag, just came out with an ebook. And thank you.
Congrats on that, for sure.
Thank you so much. But sitting down to like get them thoughts out my head, I was not structured. I did not have, it was a struggle. Yeah. And it was a short ebook at that. So I'm like, how are you know? So what is that like for you?
So for me, it's really, really draining, to be honest. Because our process it's a little weird. It's a little unconventional, because I talk to a lot of writers about their process. And I think I only heard like one other person say that they sit in the dark to just kind of shut everything down, shut all the noise down, shut all the movement down, and then just let the creative process flow. I don't do that all the time, but when I get stuck, that's how I get through my stuff. But a lot of it is just like, because I'm a perfectionist, a lot of it is just me overthinking it and trying to get everything right, to the point where I'm learning now, just recently, like sometimes you just got to trust your skill set. You know what I mean? And just go. So I started maybe a couple of years ago, I started just like opening up a blank document that doesn't really have, you know, nothing to do with the book that I'm already writing, and just go.
Nice.
Yeah, see what it turns out like. And since I've been doing it, I never scrapped it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I never scrap it. So just learning how to trust your own skill set.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to adopt that, because, oh man, I had to tell myself, like, because I would try to proofread and edit as I was going, and I'm like, stop, just write, and then you do all the other stuff later, because this will never get done if I keep.
Yeah, because honestly, the real much more professional writers that have the background writing, they tell you like the first draft is gonna be trash anyway.
Okay.
You know, you just spilling out stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that was good for me to know because I'm like, okay, yeah, you are gonna go back over this, and that's where you add all of that fire. And you go back over it, the second draft or the third draft, however you know.
So how many drafts do you normally do, or it depends?
Me, I don't do that. I do 2 drafts.
Oh, that's
for real.
Okay.
Because I know what my fans want.
Yeah.
So it's like now I'm just like trying to see how to say stuff better.
Okay.
And you know, figure out where to add attention grabbing details and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I don't have to go over and over because I know what they want. You know what I mean?
Okay. So now speaking of your fans and that like communication back and forth and whatnot, like how do you know when to continue a book series, or do you already have it in your head like, all right, this is gonna be a series, I'm gonna do this many parts, or do you start getting reviews and you like, all right, I gotta continue on this story now?
I don't do that. I kind of have it in my head what I
Okay.
want to do because I don't want to, like sometimes your characters might not have nothing else to say. So some people, they do that for the money.
Yeah.
Because the book took off like way more than they thought.
Mhm.
And they like, oh, everybody's asking for part 2, so I'm writing.
Yeah.
And I'm scared to do that because it might be trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
your reputation right there. Yeah.
Like, those characters didn't have nothing else to say. I'm not going to force it.
I love it. That's what's up. I think a movie franchise, Fast and the Furious, could learn a little bit from that.
What?
Y'all should have stopped a long time ago.
Oh my God.
Man. Ooh.
But for the money, you know.
Yeah.
So
People gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. No shade to nobody pockets. So now going from fiction and creating stories from other people's perspectives and then writing a memoir on your own story.
Yeah.
How was that like? Like, which one was more difficult for you?
The memoir was 100 times more difficult because it was my pain
Yeah.
that I was dealing with. And it seemed like everybody that ever wrote a memoir that was like heartfelt and you know, talking about trauma, they say the same things. Like, and I was like, but at the same time, it's therapeutic. It's a very, very weird situation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want to revisit this stuff. I don't. But I think it can be helpful to other people.
Yes.
So I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it out of my system. And you don't even. Now the crazy part is when I wrote that memoir, again, I had this idea while I was in prison that I would tell this story because I thought it would be helpful.
Nice.
So I started half of it. I started writing it like I got up to the point where I went to prison. And I said, if I become successful, I'll finish this.
That's what's
You
up.
know? And I was like, so it took, like I said, it took 5 years to even publish a book. So it was a long time before I went back. I had forgot all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even remember it. So when I'm reading over what I had wrote down, I'm like, damn, that really happened.
Yeah.
You know, that was it was traumatizing and therapeutic at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't remember a lot of it.
And that's the part about, like, I encourage people to journal.
Yeah.
Like, as life is going,
Yeah.
because when you go look back at some of that stuff, you be like, damn, I went through that.
Yeah.
When did that happen? Like, oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, so
Yeah.
it's really, and to see your glow up,
Yeah.
like over time and the evolution, it's like, wow, dang, I done been through some things.
I'm so glad I did that though, because like I think if not for that memoir, those memories would have been lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just all of the details of who I was at 16, 17, 18, 19, you know, it would have been lost.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now, are you thinking about getting into film? Any film adaptations?
Yes. So I actually have one screenplay half done.
Okay.
I have a series that's about 4 episodes in.
Yes.
And so I'm working on it because that was my plan. Crazy as it sounds, that was my plan originally anyway. I was like, I'm gonna write about 10 books.
Okay.
You know, I always have a different plan, but I was like, I'm gonna write about 10 books and then I'm gonna take those books and I'm gonna turn them into films.
Oh,
That was my original plan. But
Overachiever.
Yeah. I just, like I said, the game changed so much. I realized, like, okay. And then I realized I had a lot more books in me. I didn't think I had, as many books as I did either, but I'm a writer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's definitely the plan. And we actually was working on something last year that it got paused because everybody involved is not around no more. But yeah, we definitely on track for that real soon.
Yes. Yeah. I love to hear it because right now is a good time. Detroit is on.
And it's crazy because, like, again, God's plan. I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had no idea. So it was like, okay, I looked up and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is my push. You know what I'm saying? Like, something was just telling me, like, okay, now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Divine timing. You came with the books and publishing right when ebooks came along. You were a trailblazer in that. You're going to be a trailblazer in film. It's going to be perfect. Perfect alignment.
We gotta get you in on something too.
I can be an extra.
You said extra. You gonna do too much.
I don't know. I'm actually camera shy, which is wild, right?
For you to have a podcast, it definitely is wild.
And then for me to, I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to remember lines and stuff like that. Right. I don't know how I would do taking another character on, but you don't know till you try. So I'm willing to try whatever, but at least once. But yeah, y'all might see me on film. Maybe a opportunity. Get my film credits real quick. Put that on my resume. So, since you changed the trajectory of your life, I know that takes a lot of persistence, a lot of consistency, a lot of discipline, a lot of development. Like, how was that process for you, and how is it going now?
Let's continue. That's always, I think that's a life journey. But I thank God that I got the vision that I had in the beginning to just go in one direction, because once I started going in that direction, so many other things started opening up. Like, it was like that's again the memoir. It was so therapeutic in a lot of ways, because I got to talk about how when I got to prison, I just was like getting all of these things thrown at me to help me be a writer. I would walk into the library and there would be these books that I needed. And then somebody just was rolling a cart down they were going home. Somebody was rolling a cart down the aisle, and they stopped at my desk for no reason. Nobody knows I'm a writer at this time. And he got a bunch of Writer's Digest magazines, and he's like, I was about to throw these away. You want them?
Wow.
Turned out like the best thing that could have ever happened to me, as far as writing goes. Like, it was so much information in those magazines. And he just had them, about to throw them in the garbage. And so many things that led down the path of, like, okay, just kept telling me, you're going in the right direction, just keep going. You're going in the right direction. I'm gonna help you out, just keep going. And so in that also I learned about self-development. You know what I'm saying? In that same library, I started to learn about that. And once I learned about it, I fell in love with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, I got a lot of self-work to do for sure. And there's actually books that can help me with it. There's actually, I don't even have to, I don't have to do all of the work, because other people have done all the work and they got the tools to explain to you, like, the path that you want to choose, because every route of self-development is not for everybody.
That part.
But when you realize, like, this is for me and this is for me, and you get those tools together, it's, it's life-changing for sure.
Whew. Yes. To say the least.
And I know you have some experience with that, because you are a life coach.
Yes.
And so,
surprise.
Yes. And so I kind of wanted to ask you about, like, what started your journey on self-development.
Ooh. So my journey started when I was 11, actually. And it was very, I would have dreams, and it was like otherworldly dreams, and people who had passed on would visit me in my dreams and tell me things. And so I would go speaking these things out loud, and people would be like, how did you even know that? Because you should not know that. It's only one person who do, and they gone. So I started getting freaked out, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want this. Like, I was praying it away, like, God, please, whatever this is, I'm not ready for it. Yeah. And so, like, I had, it kind of went away a little bit. And then in my early 20s, I got depressed. I was in a emotionally abusive relationship. And I lost myself in there, and I got depressed. I tried to unalive myself. And I was just, after that, like, my best friend saved me. And then I just started going to alcohol as escapism. It was always a turn up for me. Because I didn't want to be alone, because when I was alone, the thoughts would come, all that stuff. Yeah. So it was about 25. I was 25. And Christmas had just passed, and my homeboy had a house party. And I injured myself. Yeah, doing a dance contest.
We gotta talk about that. That's a story in itself.
Okay. Yeah. And I partially tore my hamstring. That's when I knew age, that getting older ain't no joke. Right. But and it took me, I had to be on crutches. And after like 2 months, I'm like, yo, I'm still not healing. What's going on? Like, so I went to the doctor, and I had to go to physical therapy for like 3 months. And I promised myself after getting done with that, I'm like, I'm not doing this shit again. So I started getting healthy and working out. And from there, it kind of dominoed into diet, because I'm like, I'm not about to go eat unhealthy when I just did all this work. Right. And then from there, it was like the visions and all that stuff just started coming back. And I started seeing angel numbers everywhere. And it was just like, okay. So then it's this guy on YouTube, Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters, shout out. And I would watch his videos because his voice was calming. Yeah. And I was learning so much, and I'm like, dang, let me see about this spirituality stuff, you know, let me just look a little bit. And from there, it just took off. Like,
yeah, that's, God was calling you.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
God would definitely call you. And you gotta answer. Because if not, you're just gonna keep on.
Yeah.
Oh, you ignoring me, huh?
Yeah. Cause I'm hard.
Yeah. Me too.
Ooh.
Me too.
I just been following it since, and I don't know. Life coaching came along further down, but I had my daughter, and I had postpartum, so that kind of stopped everything. Yeah. And then it's this guy Tom Billieu, his YouTube page. I started watching that, and he gave me the resources to get me out of depression. And I was like, yo, I gotta tell people about this. Like, this is real.
Absolutely. Now it's postpartum. Is that a part of your culture too? Somehow.
So I don't specialize in it, but I can relate to it. So it's not something that I advertise like, oh, I do specialize in postpartum. But if somebody's going through it, oh yeah, I can for sure help them in that regards. Have I done? And I haven't. I've done it as a friend, but not in a coaching context. Yeah. So yeah, that would be.
That's something to think about. Because, like, you know, some people. I'm positive some people, when that happens to them, they don't really know what they're going through. Yeah. You know? Yeah. It's just like, why am I feeling like this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I didn't. Yeah. And I'm just like, the hell is this? I'm sad, I'm angry, I don't know who I am anymore. Right. And I just want to lay in a bed. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah, so thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any advice for anybody who's looking to start their development, their personal development journey, or even their writing journey?
Yeah, development first. So there's some life-changing books that I came across, and a lot of them you can look these books up on YouTube and just listen to the audio book. It's absolutely free. Nice. You could just like make a playlist of self-help audio books and just kind of go from there. But So I would start with that. I would recommend Think and Grow Rich for a lot of reasons. You thank me later.
Okay. For real.
The Science of Getting Rich, which both of those books, by the way, are about way more than money.
Yes.
It's not even about,
It's really
that's like that's the blessing you get from following good tools of life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Born Rich. All of those books are, they have rich in the title because it's attention grabbing.
Yep.
But it's about way more than money. It's about powerful tools that help you better yourself internally.
Yes.
And so those 3 books alone were all life-changing to me. And they all revolve around stuff like The Secret, but it's like that was the commercial version of what's really beneath the surface. But also, everybody's heard about affirmations and self-talk and all of that, and meditation. All of those things work. You know what I'm saying? All of those things work. It's not just for play.
Yeah.
When you implement those things into your life, you're gonna immediately see your stress level gonna go down, and your self-esteem is gonna rise, and there's gonna be a lot of things that happens in this transformation where you're like, I didn't have to live my life like this. So that's my recommendation on self-help. And as far as like publishing, if you just wanted to be an independent publisher, it's very, very simple right now. Like you can just kind of, again, you can go to YouTube and type in how to self-publish my book, or just Google. You're going to get 1,000 answers on how to do that, and then you can just kind of dig into what's best for you. But I will say, Amazon is the most dominant self-publishing platform that's out right now. Yeah, so that's a great place to start.
Yes, I can second that. As far as the Amazon, for sure, because I was just looking at all these different platforms, and I'm like, man, now granted, I do have it on my website directly as well, but Amazon will make it so, and then I had a journal, and that's a physical copy, so then they do the print on demand, and I don't have to keep 1,000 copies, and I'm like,
they make it super convenient for they cut.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
When they cut, they're going to make it super convenient. You're really not going to have to do too much of nothing. But, I think the good thing is when you go that route, it's like the exposure you get, because I've learned a long time ago, people buying from your website and stuff, it's great if you can get them to do that, but mostly works when you build up the trust with customers. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, nobody knows you, so they don't really want to
go directly to the site.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the process that I would recommend.
Okay. And as far as what you said about personal growth, I definitely want to get back into that real quick, because Think and Grow Rich, I know a lot of people think it's cliche. And what I want to say is, that's not a book you read one time or listen to one time.
No.
Because if you do, it's going to go over a lot of it is going to go over your head. 100%. And you are going to absorb what you need to absorb that one time in that moment. And then you test it out, and then you come back, and then you read it again. And then you test it out, absorb that. It's a process. It really is. And like, I have so many highlighted, because I had it on audio first. And then I'm like, no, I need a physical copy of this, because now I need to highlight some things and journal and note.
Bob Proctor, which the guy that wrote Born Rich, he said he carried his copy of Think and Grow Rich everywhere. And he's been reading it for like 30 years. He passed away now, R.I.P. to Bob Proctor, but he was the one that kind of got me to understand repetition, because I think when you read these books, they give you this jolt of motivation. And then you kind of going on about your life, most people. You know what I'm saying? So he was the first person that was just like, no, that's not how I go. This is like a tool to keep with you to go over and over until you understand that this is a way of life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the big difference that so many people that read books like that and be like, well, it didn't seem like change to me. That's because you read it and went on about your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But yeah.
And the same kind of goes for like motivational seminars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
People will go and be like, or they'll go and they'll be all amped up for like a week and be like, yay, and then they'll come back. Exactly. And it's like you come back and you're like, oh, it didn't work for me because one, did you put in the work for it to work for you? Like it has to be an exchange there.
Absolutely.
And I think now our society is so entitled and lazy and we get everything at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
People in mass don't know about delayed gratification.
Right.
Because instant gratification is right there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
more than that.
Yes. And it's like, delay for what? Like, but then they don't realize like the instant gratification, it's a quick little dopamine hit right there, but it's shallow, it's done. When you delay your gratification for something way greater, you reap the rewards for a lifetime. Like, and I wish people would get that.
Yeah, you're really doing yourself a disservice to just like to tap into something that you just got hold to some jewels.
Yes.
You know that, like for a fact. Your gut telling you got a hold to some jewels, but then you don't even try to do nothing with it because it's just like it was free.
Right.
You know?
Right.
If you paid a lot of money for those jewels, I think you would probably approach it a lot different because it's like, well, I need to get my money's worth out of this.
Yes.
That's how people think. I need to get my money's worth out of this, but it's free. The information is free.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And that actually leads me to an issue I was having at the beginning of coaching. Like, because pricing my things, it was like, this seems like too much. This doesn't seem like enough. And and then I set a price, and then I remember I discounted it every time I would get ready to tell people. And so I remember I gave this girl, this woman I know, a 60 or 70% discount on my services. And she came to 2 sessions, and then she ghosted me, like completely ghosted me. And I felt the way because I'm like, this is a whole service. This isn't, you could have told me you weren't interested. And then came back some months later, was like, she started raving about me and the impact I made. I'm like, I am confusion. Like, what? How?
Totally
this is two sessions and you go like, and she's like, oh, can you coach me again? Absolutely not. But I can't recommend you to somebody else because I have a bias towards you now, and I know that. So
I don't know what's going on.
And I'm like, I'm not discounting services anymore because some people will look at my rates, my one-to-one, and be like, that's high. And it's like, because this is life-changing. How much are you willing to invest in yourself? And if you don't want the one-on-one, I have group sessions that cost less. I have now my journal and my ebook, and that's even less. So you can go like stepping stones.
Get information.
And then I give resources on other places where I've learned my stuff. So it's like, again, most of this stuff is free, but if you want that tailor-made work.
And that's exactly how Bob did it. Like he had that. He had so much free information out there. But if you really just wanted to tap in and get that next level, you know what I'm saying, journey to where you like, okay, this is gonna move me towards that faster because now I can call Andrea or I can talk to her personally and tell her my individual issues. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. You can't do that with a book or audio book. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is not tailored to you. You know what I mean? So that's what you're paying for. You know what I mean?
And I just, it's disheartening a little bit to see people will pay for Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, all this stuff. And then when it comes to something that would truly develop them, they like, nah, it ain't worth it. That's too much. Like they're really saying, I'm not worth it. That's too much. Like, and that makes me sad because it's like, damn, you'll adorn yourself with all this stuff with labels that don't really give a fuck about you. But when it comes to the inner work, it's just too much.
Because what you're really saying is like, I'm lazily concerned about myself.
Yes.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? That's what you're saying.
Yep.
I'm lazily concerned about myself. I would like to do better, but if I gotta, invest in it, then
Right.
it's gotta work itself out. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Exactly.
crazy. You know what I
Yes.
mean? That's crazy, for real.
Yes, and I get it right now, especially inflation and all that stuff going on. And a lot of people, managing money is a whole other segment of, especially the Black community.
But I don't mean to cut you off, but like
No.
for Black people, it's been our struggle the whole entire time.
Yes.
It's like having a baby. When is a good time to do it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can say that. You probably gonna say that 10 years later. If you just be like, well, it's not a good time because of,
Yes.
It's like,
The time is now.
yeah.
Whatever you do.
You gotta, when you really, really want to do something, you find
a way to do it.
I swear.
Exactly.
You
And that
find a
was
way.
my point.
Yeah.
Like, you may not have the money, but guess when I didn't have the money for stuff, I found a way around it, or I
Yeah.
found a way to like inch my
Yeah.
way in. Even
Yeah.
like I remember going to Tom Bill, you had this thing, he still has it, ITU, his university.
Yeah.
And it cost a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not in my budget right now. But guess what I did? Found the emails.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, yo, listen, I'm a big fan of yours. Like,
Yeah.
can I get a little tea? Can you give me
Yeah.
something? Like,
Yeah.
and I'll pay you something. Or when I start to reap the benefits of it, I will
Yeah.
pay you the full price. Just
Yeah.
let me get in the door.
Right.
And they allowed me. They gave me a scholarship.
Wow.
And I was like, huh,
Wow.
it's crazy. Closed mouths don't get fed.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, because I took that, I was just about to say that. You took the words out of my mouth. Because Jeezy got a book called Adversity for Sale. I'm a big Jeezy fan.
Mhm.
So I was like, let me listen to this. I listened to the audio book. I knew I wasn't going to have time to read it.
Mhm.
And he had a chapter in the book where he kept talking about closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm.
He was doing all of these things just like you can't do nothing but say no, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that, I think out of the whole book, that's what stuck with me.
Mhm.
Because it's like you pushing past the limitations that's really been set. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So many people are not going to do that.
Yes.
And that was big for me. I'm like, I'm glad I listened to this audiobook because I need to kind of tap back into that.
Yeah.
I grew up with that mentality, like I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yes, no, whatever. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
That's right.
And just listening to the book, it tapped me back into that. But that's right there, that skill set right there. If you just learn how to not get emotionally involved and know,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
that could change somebody's life.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm happy you called it a skill set because
Yeah,
it
it
is learnable.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a word.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you're able to learn it
Yeah.
and hone it in because, like, we not just born hearing no all the time and be
Yeah.
like, oh, we're still going to go. No,
Right.
like,
Right.
you get down. I remember I used to do business to business sales.
Uh-huh.
And I used to sell office products
Yeah.
to businesses in Royal Oak and Ferndale. And hearing people cuss me out and say, get the hell on, and yada, yada, no, hell no, fuck no, all the things. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like,
Right.
This ain't it.
Yeah.
But the development behind the company, they're
Mhm.
like, you're going to hear all these no's. But when you hear that yes, you're going to get a big sale out of it.
Yeah.
And so I started, like, persevering, and I'm like, damn, I am getting kind of good at this. And then when you hear no, ask why.
Yeah.
Get the reasons why,
Yeah.
because you may be able to accommodate that and turn that no
100%.
into a yes.
Yeah.
But even if you can't, it's okay. Move on
Right.
to the next. Like,
Right.
so it was just a learning process, and you just got to continue on
Yeah.
and put yourself out there.
And it helped me to hear. It's a book about that too. I can't remember the name of it. It might come to me after the interview.
I'll put it in the link.
Yeah, but it was a I think he's an Asian guy. He was talking about he basically just came like rejection proof. That might be the name of it.
Okay. We'll look into that.
Yeah, but he just was like he set out on this mission. I forget what the mission was, but that wasn't important anyway. The point was going through the trials of all of the no's and what happened to him inside once he got over the feeling of that rejection. It was another audio book that I tapped into. It was really, really good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because like when you get over that, you know, stop taking it personal. It's not personal.
Yes,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? You stop taking it personal, that allows you to persevere.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now somebody's gonna say yes. And like you said, sometimes that one yes is life changing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that was one thing I had to experience firsthand through coaching.
Yeah.
Because it's like coaching, I felt like I was telling myself, like, because it's a large piece of my experience, like it's me coaching somebody.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, people were saying no and all this. I'm trying to pitch free sessions because in order to get credentialed with the ICF, International Coaching Federation, you have to get so many hours of coaching in. And a lot of hours can be bartered or free or whatnot, but some of them have to be paid. And so it was like I found myself having to like barter and do all this stuff. Like, please, can you just give me $1? Like, I don't like. And people were like, I don't need coach. Like, okay, everybody needs coach. I have a coach.
Yeah, because like when these seminars are not filling up wall to wall for nothing.
That part.
You know what I mean? It's just like if people need it, they just need to know that they need it from you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. Like I had to learn, like, okay, although it's me giving the service, I'm a vessel.
Yeah.
It's not me that I'm selling.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't take anything personal if somebody. And I don't know if you heard about the survey that they did. Well, it was a study. This is 2023 was the second year in a row. But the unhappiest cities in America, Detroit came at #1 for the second year in a row.
I did.
And I'm like, that is insane.
We don't fit into that.
Nope. I don't subscribe to that at all.
Yeah, we don't subscribe to that at all. Definitely not. But I don't even think that's an honest survey.
Yeah, because who are they asking?
Yeah, because Detroit is actually kind of better than ever. And right now, in the sense of like what's a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, better than ever. And since I've been alive.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that, you know, maybe when I was a kid, we were thriving that I don't remember. But like in my lifetime, this is kind of the best it's been. I just saw we've had the lowest crime rate in like since the 1960s.
I'm happy you said that on video because
people don't understand. Like you got to be here to kind of know what's going on.
Yes.
You know.
And if you're just watching crime news in a D,
you're gonna see the same stuff that you see in Chicago.
Yes.
Or you know, New York City. Like
yes,
you're gonna see a lot of the same stuff there. But
and I realized like we haven't been #1 on the murder list in a while.
Very long.
And we held that spot down for some years. Like
100%.
Whew, it was bad.
Yeah, so with that being said, knowing that okay, but these things that we're doing are working, and with everything else that the city have going on, you know, we now we're going in reverse back to, you know, what we were known for, because really what we were known for was being a powerhouse city.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we were originally known for. And we got away from that, you know, but before Atlanta, it was Detroit.
Yes.
You know, that's just the facts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Atlanta wouldn't be what it is right now without Detroit.
Right.
And I mean, population-wise as well.
But
like influence,
yeah,
for sure. Because Detroit, we have Motor City. We're Motor City. We got Motown. We have so many artists and creatives here. And despite what anybody may say, like we got our own. We've always had our own style, especially when it comes to like fashion and trend setting and lingo and all of that. Detroit is its own entity.
Yeah, we've been trendsetters for a very long time.
Yes.
And I think people got away from. We were getting the credit for that at first, but people got away from that because like everything is trying to move around with the internet.
Yeah.
But, you know, we definitely been trendsetters, and everybody that's been around for a while know that.
Yep. Yes. And I just can't wait to see how we progress. And
it's looking good.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I think just this year alone, I'm excited to see what happens.
Yes. I have like this intuitive feeling this year about to be amazing. Like it's gonna be some real progression. Not even individually, well, not only individually, because that too. But like as a collective, I feel like the city, this is the time.
The Detroit Lions are in the playoffs.
Whew. That should say it enough right there.
That says a whole lot.
Yeah.
About where we headed. So.
Yes, and look at U of M. They won a championship. Okay. And I'm a state fan. I ain't gonna lie, but I give them their credit where it's due for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's what's up.
So we gonna see. The rest of our teams can get it together. Sorry, Pistons.
Yeah.
Step y'all game up. But we gonna come around.
Yeah, we gonna come around. We gonna get it together.
Yes. But to wrap this up, I do want to know, where can people find you, your work, your everywhere, everything?
So that's pretty simple. Everything is Arthur King Benjamin or KingBenjaminPresents.com. I have this book right here that is the latest series that I've been working on. It's called A Thug's Millionaire Motivation. There's a part 4 to this dropping really soon. That's going to be the finale to this book. A Thug's Millionaire Motivation is one of the books that I just kind of was inspired to write by looking at what I was trying to do and where my career was going. And I decided to write a book based on the male-female perspective of the motivation is not always the money, right? Because once you get the money, life is kind of empty without the woman. You know what I mean? So he didn't have the money when he met her, and she became the motivation because he wanted her that bad. So he leveled up. You know what I'm saying? So that's my latest, and everything is available on Amazon, but you can go to KingBenjaminPresents.com to just kind of get a look at my catalog. If you wanted to sign up for my email list and all that, you can do everything at KingBenjaminPresents.com. But if you just want to follow me on social media, it would be Arthur King Benjamin, everything.
All right. I'm going to have all that stuff here on the screen, and it's going to be linked down below and all that jazz, so y'all can reach him. And leave reviews, too. That's important.
Very important.
Yeah, I really want to stress that, because one thing I realized, for a powerhouse like Amazon, when you get them reviews, they push you harder.
Yeah. 100%.
And if you want to support an artist, leave reviews. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah,
so
nothing.
Exactly.
It takes about 60 seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So do that. Look out. Make sure y'all follow him. Make sure y'all look out for his films. Make sure y'all stay tuned on this podcast as well.
Subscribe if you haven't already.
Thank you. And we will catch you on the next go round. Thank you for tuning in. Ciao.